Lions in the pack, never got slack. Pushing for greatness, never looking back. Fear the roar, check the score. Can't ignore talent, strength in the
Welcome to the Schaefer Center here on the campus of Southwestern Assemblies of God University here in Waxahachie, Texas. You are watching the SAGU Sports Network, and we have a doubleheader coming your way as we've got the SAGU Women's Lady Lions facing off against the visiting Central Christian College women's basketball team coming right here from the SAGU Network. I'm Adam Ferguson, joined by my broadcast partner, as always, John Cookman. John, how are we doing tonight?
Good evening, Adam. I'm doing great and very happy to be here in basketball season. It is the middle of the basketball conference year. This is going to be an exciting game.
And it's the best time of the year, John. And we, like you said, we're right in the middle of the Sooner Athletic Conference play.
Yeah. And I'm being told by our producer that we're going to go down sideline with our very own Riker Russell. She's with head coach Tiffany Phillips. Riker, what does Coach Phillips have to say?
Thanks, Sean. Coach Phillips, you faced adversity these past couple of games. So how were you able to motivate your girls coming into tonight's game?
I just think, we're in every game. We're competing. We're fighting. We're right there. We're always there. And these girls, they want to win. They have the desire to win, and they've never lost that. And so I think it's just a matter of trying to get over that hump a little bit tonight.
You and Central Christian have the same exact record in conference play. So what do you need to take away from them tonight to come away with a win?
Well, we've got to do a good job in transition defense. We've got to limit their layups, obviously. We've got to do a good job defensively. And then they like to throw it inside of the post, so we've got to try to take that away from them tonight.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck tonight. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Riker. Thanks, Coach Phillips. And she's just right on the money with that analysis. They got to get over the hump. This team is much better than 2-6, and they played the very best of the conference very well, and they've lost a couple cheap ones, what you would say cheap ones, here on their own floor that they could have won, but tonight's going to be a proving ground for them. It's actually the battle for 8th place. Central Christian and SAGU are tied with one another, and so it's very important. You really got to cinch up 8th place. But I actually think Coach Phillips is going to find a way to get her team elevated and be in more of the middle of the pack by the end of the season.
Don't go anywhere. Game one of our doubleheader right here on the SAGU Sports Network is on the way right after the opening prayer, national anthem, and announcement of the starting lineups. Don't go anywhere right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now the starting lineups for the Tigers. At guard, junior number 1, Tavia Lowe. At guard, senior number 4, Zenith Hernandez. At forward, junior number 10, Cassidy Forsberg. At guard, junior number 23, Cheyenne Marshall. And at guard, senior number 32, Holly Golden. Head coach for the Tigers is Mark Golden. And now the starting lineups for your Lady Lions. At guard, sophomore number 12, Tamara DeRoe. At forward, junior number 14, Alexis Casher. At guard, senior number 20, Lexi Rich. At forward, junior number 21, Philly Green. And at guard, junior number 23, Sydney Metter. Head coach for the Lady Lions is Tiffany Phillips. Assistant coach is Eric Wood. And graduate assistant is Donnie Dibbles.
And there we have it, the starting lineups for Game 1 of this doubleheader between Central Christian College and the SAGU Lady Lions. John, as you mentioned, we are right in the heart of Sooner Athletic Conference play, and every game is important as the Lady Lions find themselves right now in that all-important 8th spot, which would land them, if the season ended today, would land them in the conference tournament, and then Central Christian finds themselves really a half game back looking in. They do have the same record as the Lady Lions do in conference play. They find themselves right there as well.
Yeah, well, to be exact, and there you see the up-to-date standings for the women's Sooner Athletic Conference side. And Central Christian and Langston are the only two schools left to play each other in the first part of the round robin side. So this is going to be a big game to actually add to the win total before they repeat again. And these two teams play very similar. You're going to see some threes shot, but two rising big men down in the paint are going to face off in Green and Forsberg. So that's going to be something exciting to watch as far as your players to watch. And then the matchup for Lexi Rich. She's not been in a slump as of late, but not really producing what we know that she's capable of. So last game on the road, she seemed to snap that. It'll be interesting to see if she comes out and gets hot early in this game. And we saw her hit the first three.
Floater off the hands of Tamara DeRoe getting the start tonight. So Lady Lions jump up to a 5-0 lead off the hands of Lexi Rich's initial three-point opportunity, which was good. And now a couple of turnovers here for the Lady Tigers, a 3-second violation, and that ball just through the hands.
DeRoe in starting tonight for the first time ahead of Carrie Glenn, who's the main general for the team. And it's good to see a player like DeRoe get offensively involved early. There goes Metter.
And there is Casher. Casher with a big rebound. She does lead the conference in rebounds, and there you see why. Just able to crash the boards and time everything so well.
And right behind Casher in rebounds per game is who you just saw, Forsberg, grab another rebound. And it would not be odd to see her go for a double-double tonight.
That is about what she averages on the season, so it's never surprising as we get a traveling violation. So 3 turnovers in a row here for the Lady Tigers. Not how you want to start the night on the offensive end.
Definitely not, and 2 of those came at the hand of Forsberg, which is very odd.
Full court press shown here by the Lady Tigers. The Lady Lions do a good job of breaking it. Looking to set up some offense here. Metter. Get over to Lexi Rich. Rich. She jabs, crosses over to the right. She drives. Floater up and no good, but fouled. And she's going to go to the line here for 2 shots.
And that's what she does so well, besides shooting the three-pointer, is that jab step, fake your man, and take it 2. And on that right side, that's her side.
Everything she does just seems so calculated on the offensive side.
She's a great strategic player.
First free throw is up, and it is in for Lexi Rich. 4 points on the night already for the SAGU senior. Second free throw is up, and it is good. Lady Lions out to a 7-0 lead here early in this first quarter of play. And we have a whistle. I'm not sure what the violation was. It's going to be a side out here for the Lady Tigers. Again, Central Christian led by Cassidy Forsberg. You're going to see her patrol the center tonight. And that is a good bucket plus the foul by Tanya Lowe. She gets the Lady Tigers on the board first with the opportunity at a three-point play.
That was a great move on the left side of the court there, using her body and her speed to beat the defense. Made it look easy.
And they missed the free throw. The free throw does Low. Takes it out. Here's Green. She gets it to Rich. Lexi for three. That one is good. Lexi Rich starting the night off hot, as she has got a quick 8 points, and the Lady Lions are out 10-2.
That's what she does so well. Is you can see if she could get both the outside and the inside game going, you're going to look at a good 30 to 35 point night for Lexi.
Driving to the rack. And then she is fouled with Cheyenne Marshall. Kind of ran into two SAGU players there. Pick your poison who the foul is. It looks like it's going to go on Philly Green. No, they're actually going to give it to Sydney Metter. To the line for two shots is Cheyenne Marshall. First is up, and it is good. And we were talking pregame. This is one of the areas where the Lady Tigers struggle, is their free throw shooting. Shooting about 63% as a team on the season. They do go 2 for 2 from the line that time, but that's not something you want to see, these easy ones.
Absolutely not, and that's a good sign to see these early free throws go in for them on the road. You don't ever want to miss a free throw, but especially on the road, because you never know. You get a little home cooking against you, and you don't go to the line much, so you need to make every one of them count. Not saying at all that SAGU is going to produce any home cooking.
And going to the line again now is Sierra Carter after the Lady Lions turnover. She gets fouled by Philly Green, and it looks like she is not happy with the call. But again, to the line, two shots, Sierra Carter. First is up, and it is good. They cut this Lady Lions lead back down to 5.
Well, this is good for the Tigers to see Sierra Carter get in, and she's not a high producer for this team. She just averages a little bit over 13 minutes per game, and she scores 5 points a game. So points per minute is pretty good, so she produces well when she does, but she doesn't get the opportunity as much. So good to see her getting in, and wow, DeRoe.
The Lady Lions hot from three-point land right now. They start off 3 for 3 on the evening. Now you said it, DeRoe this time just outside that corner. Nails a three. And a double dribble call against Central Christian. So they are plagued with turnovers on the offensive side of the ball so far tonight, and that's got to be frustrating for Coach Mark Golden.
Absolute killer for a coach, just to see you're sinking your own battleship every time you create it's just like a missile strike right into the heart of the boat. And especially unforced like that.
Driving is DeRoe. Going to set up some offense. Lexi Rich is smothered. Turnover. The Lady Lions give it away now. Up ahead. Here comes Central Christian for 3 now. That one's no good. Rebound brought in by DeRoe. That one's shot by Cheyenne Marshall. DeRoe up ahead from Metter. Metter leaves it for Lexi Rich. Lexi Rich stops, pops, and it's good. Lexi Rich.
On a heater.
Great start to the night for Lexi. 11 points already here in the first quarter.
Well,
the first 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Lexi with 11
I mean, still got well over 5 minutes left in the game, and she's on track to, for at least a 44-point game.
At least. That pass off the hands of Philly Green. It's going to stay with the Lady Tigers. Checking in for the first time is Jordan Dixon from right down the road in Dallas, Texas.
Dixon averages just over 17 minutes per game. So Again, Coach Golden getting in some of a good portion of his bench already. He wants to see who has come to Waxahachie to play the game of basketball against these Lady Lions.
Foul on Carter. As Rich brought it up, Metter goes baseline, gets it to Green. Green kicks it out to Duro. Duro to Rick. She's got room. Deep three on the way. That one's no good. Off to the right. Rebound brought in by Forsberg. First miss from three for the Lady Lions tonight. First miss from the floor for Lexi Rich. Here is Carter. She stops, gets it back out. And here's a three-pointer on the way. That one is good off the hands of Alexis Boyd, the lefty. Puts it in and cuts the score to single digits, 16-9 now in favor of the Lady Lions. Duro gets it to Metter. He's swinging around. Here's Rich. She's going to take a deep three. That one's no good, just short. And then the ball off. It's going to be a jump ball. It looked like it came off the hands of Central Christian, but they could not decide. And the third official is going to come in and say it is white ball, SAGU ball. Looks like she was the only one who had an angle on it.
Lexi Rich shooting 75% from the three-point line tonight already.
Here is Duro, 15 to shoot. They get it to Kasher. Metter down low to Rich. Rich, double team, kicks it out to Metter. Metter for three. That one's no good. And that one off the hands of...
I think the Lady Lions got a little call there. Looked like maybe Green. Oh, we didn't see the end of that, but either Green or Kasher hit that out.
So SAGU now with 19 left to shoot. New possession, Metter up and off the glass and in. Sydney Metter gets her first points of the evening.
And that's great. Metter just needed to see one go in, and usually many more follow.
18-9, doubling up. The Lady Tigers are the Lady Lions. Here's Boyd driving on Kasher. That shot off. Rebound by Green. And Green gets it to Duro.
Duro looking for some lanes. I love the way she keeps her head up, driving forward, looking for someone to pass to.
Here's Metter. She drives to the left. Mid-range jumper. That one rattles around. No good. Rebound brought in by Forsberg. Up ahead, here's Lowe. Between the legs, drive to the right. Lowe gets blocked by Green right at the rim. It's tough to get over a defender that big. Here is Duro. Stops and pops mid-range. No good. Kasher, another offensive rebound. Gets it out to Metter. Metter for three. That one's no good off the front of the rim. Rebound by Forsberg. Up ahead, they find Carter. Carter drives. She stops. Tries to get it out to her teammate on the wing, Jordan Dixon, and cannot find her out of bounds. And again, a frustrating turnover. Got to be a frustrating turnover for Coach Golden and the Lady Tigers.
So Metter and Duro come out, and Kiara Glenn comes in for Duro, and she will be running the point.
Lauren Baker checking into the game as well.
And Lauren Baker. Oh, nice cut.
Kasher tried to get it to the corner to Green. I'm not sure there was a shot set up there, but passing lane was cut off and a turnover right back to the Lady Tigers. Coming up on 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Here's Boyd driving on Kasher. She's going to get Kasher on a foul on the driving Alexis Boyd.
Second foul number 14, Alexis Kasher.
Checking in for the first time for Central Christian is Zenith Hernandez. Quick three from Boyd. That one's no good. Air ball out of bounds.
Go to the Lions.
SAGU ball. Under 3 to play here in the first quarter. Quick shot there from Boyd. Didn't really ever get her feet set. Kiara Glenn brings it up for the Lady Lions. Baker gets it to Kasher. Casher down low to Rich. Rich is able to bring it in. That was a hot pass. Here's Lexi. Lexi drives, steps back, mid-range jumper, no good. Air ball out of bounds. It's going to be Central Christian ball.
I think Lexi actually wanted to go off the glass there, and she had to get it up pretty quick because defensive responded quickly in adjustment.
Boyd for three, the lefty, no good. Green taps it out to Casher. Casher up ahead to Glenn. Glenn to Green. Green layup up and in. Tremendous fast break offense there by the Lady Lions.
That was everyone ran the floor just flawlessly there, but Green did a great job coming to a 2-foot stop and jump, and that's kind of hard to do when you're in a full dead-out sprint.
And here they come again. Here is Glenn. Glenn gets it to Baker. Baker, the left-handed layup up and in. Another good fast break offense there run by Kiera Glenn off the turnover, or rather the missed shot. And they get the outlet pass, and they score again. 22-9 now, the lead for the Lady Lions.
And these Lady Lions, as I had mentioned in pregame, they're much better than their Conference 2-6 record would show you. They've had a lot of close games against some of the top teams in the nation.
And there's one of them.
Oklahoma City is just drubbing everybody. They are actually average margin of win is 30 points per game. They're crushing everyone. And they only came here to the Schaefer Center and won by 8. So, and actually the Lady Lions, there was a time within the last couple minutes where they had gotten it down to 3. So you thought there was going to be a real competitive moment for them to win. Before a few things happened right there at the end. So that 8-point score was really not an 8-point score or win.
Coming out of the timeout, the Lady Lions have been firmly in control of this game so far. Really a high-scoring first quarter for the Lady Lions. They are up to a 22-9 lead. And
but you just can't get too comfortable because this is the Sooner Athletic Conference, and the Lady Tigers, they could put on the same kind of run. So no time to let off the gas here if you're a Lady Lion.
Forsberg's pass gets cut off by Green. Metter up ahead. She's going to get fouled.
And that was fantastic defense by the Lady Lions.
It looks like Philly Green is going to remain in the game as long as Cassidy Forsberg is in the game. Philly Green should be in there as the dominant big man presence for the Lady Lions. Really, it's a good matchup. Here is Glenn after the foul. Glenn looking to create some space. Good defense out at the top by Tanya Lowe, and Lowe is going to get fouled by Glenn. Really good pestering defense there.
It was, and Glenn is saying to Metter, come up higher to set that pick. You're setting it too low, and I can't get the angle to get away from her.
So turnover and a foul, and going to the line for 2 shots here is Tanya Lowe.
Lowe is the second leading scorer for the Lady Tigers. She comes in at just over 9 points per game.
First free throw is up, and it is good from Lowe, the junior point guard from Wichita, Kansas.
She is the most used tool in Coach Golden's bag, and she averages 31 minutes per game.
Missed the second free throw, but the offensive board by the Lady Tigers results in a missed 3. So the Lady Lions up ahead. Here's Metter. She's going to stop and take a 3 of her own. That one's no good. Philly Green, big rebound, gets it back to Metter. Metter, the floater, that one's no good. In and out. Rebound by Forsberg. She's got to be getting close to 10 boards already. She's doing a great job on the glass is Cassidy Forsberg. They're looking to go down low to her. Here's Forsberg on Green. Turnaround hook shot, no good. And Lexi Rich with the rebound gets fouled. One away from the bonus are the Lady Lions.
That was a good collapse crash to the board by the Tigers. Look, all 3 of them are around, and if they would have just kept their hands out of the cookie jar, they probably would have been able to create some type of turnover in that situation. There was absolutely nowhere for Lexi Rich to go.
Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. The Lady Lions up 22-10, 12-point lead. Lexi Rich with it now. Started off hot, has 11 points on the night. Rich directing the offense, tries to get to Glenn, but ends up turning it over. Up ahead on the fast break. That's going to be a travel.
Wow.
Drug that back foot, Cheyenne Marshall.
And watch how well Kiara Glenn gets back. She beats her, she's timing it, gets in front, and just creates that little stutter step without drawing the foul.
It was Holly Golden correcting the leading scorer for the Lady Tigers. They're feeling the presence of Glenn.
Glenn's trying to get her pick set up a little bit higher.
Foul on Sierra Carter, and going to the line here for 2 shots is the Lady Lions, as they are in the bonus.
Both teams are in the bonus now.
Glenn's first free throw rattles around, ends up falling. Glenn's second free throw up, and that is good. The Lady Lions back out to a 14-point lead, 24-10. Actually, the 14-point lead is their biggest lead of the evening.
SAGU is number 2 in the nation in free throw shots.
Something they do very well.
Per game. I'm sorry, in percentage.
And it's something they do, and a lot to do with the phenomenal shooting of Metter and Rich from the free throw line. And then we see a foul. Did they count the bucket?
They're going to ring that up. Is that continuation?
Haven't seen it yet.
And she looks like she's going to ring it up.
No, she's going to go to the line for 2 shots. No continuation there. Took a minute there to decide.
When I look at that in replay, it looked like she was in motion to go to the basket. She was in her shot motion.
First free throw is up, and it is good off the hands of Holly Golden. Golden's second free throw. That one's no good. Off to the left. Big rebound by Forsberg. She tries to get it back up and can't. Up ahead, here's Glenn. She's just got to heave it from half court. That was going to come up well short, and the Lady Lions are going to go into the quarter break here up 24-11.
Well played, Lady Lions. That was exactly how you want to play the first period of the half. And the first quarter has been, historically through this season, the worst quarter of the 4 quarters that are played by the Lady Lions. It is their lowest scoring quarter. So if history kind of plays out here, which I see no reason why it wouldn't, then you should see the second, third, and fourth quarters progressively get larger, and it's in that order, respectively. So each quarter, they get just a little bit better in producing offense.
And there you see a live look in at a couple of other Sooner Athletic Conference games going on tonight. MacU and Southwestern Christian. And you see the Wayland Baptist Flying Queens taking on John Brown. And in the lower right-hand side of your screen, you see the turnover battle between the Lady Lions and the Lady Tigers. The Lady Tigers doubling up the Lady Lions, and that is not a category you want to be leading in, is turnovers, especially with 8 in the first quarter.
No. And Coach Phillips really has this team playing great defense. And they just, even though some of these turnovers were considered to be unforced turnovers, it's just that pestering type defense that the Lady Lions are providing.
That's another one.
They kind of intimidate you.
They try to get it down low to Forsberg. Forsberg this time could not find room, and that pass was errant, and it goes out of bounds. And the Lady Lions get a quick possession change here in the second quarter. Up ahead, here's Glenn. Takes a pick by Metter. Gets it to Baker. Baker looked to go down low to Metter, but it wasn't there. Baker. She drives now, goes baseline, gets it back out to Metter. Metter, mid-range jumper. That one's good. Good pass there by Baker to find the open man in Sydney Metter.
And Metter is just lights out from about that 8 to 10-foot range. That is her specialty. Even though she drives very well, she's so accurate when she can just get a good spot-up look from about 8 to 10 feet.
Good pass up ahead. Here's Glenn. Goes to the corner for Baker. Baker, corner three. That one's no good. Metter with the rebound. Tried to get it to Rich. Here's Lexi. Corner three, no good. Another offensive board. Here's Glenn. Fakes, gets it out to Rich. That one's no good. A couple of missed shots there by the Lady Lions.
That's in and out. Forsberg trying to play a little bit of aggressive full court defense. Gets her hand on the ball, but no avail.
Here is Glenn, gets it to Metter. Metter swings it to Lexi. Rich to Baker. Down low to Metter. Turns around, tough shot down low. Casher with the rebound. Gets blocked and it's going to go out of bounds, but it's going to stay with the Lady Lions.
And we're so happy we got a special guest in on the microphone right now, head coach of SAGU's men's basketball team, Coach Delton Deal.
Thanks for having me up here, guys.
Coach, thanks for coming by. It's always good to see you and just hear your voice. And
oh, Lexi Rich at the buzzer hits a three.
yeah, she's on pace for a special night, and she lightened up in the last 5 minutes of the first quarter, but she had 11 points in the first 5 minutes.
She's coming off in a good game up at NAIA last week, and you can just see her playing. You can see the joy. You can just really see her starting to be who she is, and talk to her a lot, and she's doing a great job.
Yep.
Excited to see her get start to do what she does. So.
It is good to see her get back into what we would call, basketball form, where we know she is an all-star and an all-American player. And the Lady Lions are going to need her to step up in the second part of the season and play like the all-star she is, so that they could get back in the middle of the mix. We know they're not going to finish out 8th where they are right now. So Coach Phillips she's just going to make the adjustments. We know she could do it, and it's going to be good. So it's good that we get to call this back half of the season, because I anticipate we're going to see a lot more wins from them.
They're starting to show some real positive signs, and some of the adjustments they make are working. Some of them, you haven't seen them maybe, or you don't really recognize them, but you can see a lot of things growing within the team, and the way they're sharing the ball and the way they're playing. You can, they're right here on the rise. They're about to start taking off, I think.
Off the out of bounds. Here's Metter. Takes the pass from Glenn. Tries to go down low to Casher, but Casher gets fouled by Forsberg.
Maybe a little bit of a cheap foul here. Oh,
it's like she
tried to
fouled
get
her
over her back.
Yep.
On the entrance
She got the ball.
It's Forsberg's first foul. Here's Metter. Metter drives, gets blocked by Forsberg. Casher with a big rebound. And that's why she leads the conference in rebounds. Here's Metter, drives baseline. Tries to get it to Casher, and this time it's turned over. Up ahead, here is Carter. Leaves it for Lowe. Lowe jabs. Tries to, nice little pass to Forsberg. Forsberg off the glass. And they get their first points here in the second quarter.
That was a great-looking series for the Tigers. They were patient, even though they ran it down. They were patient to let the play develop and not try to force it on the fast break.
Metter drives on Forsberg, and then the rebound brought in, but hooked by Casher. It's going to be a jump ball.
Alexis Casher gets her hand on every single one.
She really does.
Whether she gets it or not, she's somewhere around every single one.
You can see a little bit of the frustration on Hernandez's face there. She's like, I'm tired of you getting every rebound.
And that's not something you can really teach somebody. That's just a
instinctive thing that you hustle.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of heart, and it takes some you really got to dig down deep and be willing to do that every time, even when you're tired. And I mean, she's relentless at it. So, as she gets a little bit better at finishing and doing some other things around the rim, I mean, her best basketball is ahead of her for sure.
Well, Coach, we don't get to have you up here a lot and on the mic. So since we have you, tell us a little bit. Walk us through. You took on pretty much the best of the conference, in MacU a few nights ago, and you almost came out of there. You were on the road, almost came out of there with a big, huge win. Tell us about it. What happened?
Yeah, really gutsy performance by our guys. You know, we started the game really slow. I think there's a lot of magnitude in the game. You're playing number 2 in the nation on the road, and they're obviously really amped up to play us as well. I think they know that it was going to be a good game, and we started the game down 17-0, which isn't ideal.
Wow.
17-0. So we come back. Kenton Williams gets kicked in the head. It's kind of a little bit woozy, comes back in, scores 7 straight points, and then he really couldn't finish the rest of the way. So he ends up not playing. He only plays 6 minutes, which is, if you know anything about him, he's not going to be playing tonight either.
Oh, really?
Anything about him, he's a pretty big part of our team. So
yeah.
That was different, but, you know, our guys, despite all that, you know, we fought back, and I really thought, you know, we really bothered them and forced them into some tough things, and we got back in the game, actually took the lead, had a 6 to 8 point lead in the second half, and then there was a weird little loose ball tie-up that ended up taking a long time to sort out what they were going to do with it, and I think it kind of killed the momentum a little bit. But MacU came back, and, you know, when you're a great team and you're at home, they hit 2 really tough shots late in that game, really tough. And to our credit, they took the lead, and we just kept coming back, and we kept hitting shots. Nick Mason was pretty awesome, and not just him, it was a team effort, but he was pretty great.
Yeah,
and then,
sure.
You know,
Well, we expect him to be.
Yeah,
I mean, he's kind of emerged as the leader.
Yep, and he hits 2 big threes late in the game, and, you know, they miss a free throw, and we're down 2, and he has the ball, and he gets a great look, and it almost goes in, and, you know, it could be different. I mean, 1 second left, and he has an open 3 to win the game on the road against a great team. It was encouraging, I think.
So it's a 2-point drop against the number 2 team in the nation, not having your your number 2 scorer, number 1 rebounder, and wow, that's wow, Coach.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, and that's a testament to our guys have done a really good job this year. Just they love each other, they play with each other, they really try to play as hard as they can, and I think we have a really selfless group, which is, I mean, that's really what you want to see. So when you play like that, you know, adversity doesn't bother you that much, and that's really what we're trying to teach play with you.
Yeah, and you can really see that. It's so much fun. If you haven't been to one of the games here in the Schaefer Center, you've got to come out and see Coach Dill and his squad really achieve. It's just so much. It's a high, I call it a high-flying act, because there's a lot of dunks. There's a lot of three-point shots. But even better than that, I'm sure you're most proud of, is you lead the nation in steals.
Yeah,
and so the defense is intense.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on our defense. You know, we keep a rating system, and we've been pretty high in the ratings defensively this year, and we're doing a good job of keeping the ball on one side. And
you're pretty deep, especially defensively.
And I think, you know, the best thing about our depth is we have unselfish depth who will play their role regardless of what it is.
This team is, no doubt, you can see the difference, but this team feels like they have settled into their role.
Yeah.
They know their role, and they love their role.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
And we've had a big boost from freshman Howard Turner, who just started playing a few games ago. He's really starting to kind of find his way, and he's got a chance.
Good.
He's got a chance to be a good player, and
you
know, not just him, but, you know, leadership from our, like Terrence Hubby and Mitchell McMullen seniors, who have played a role off the bench when I think they maybe thought at the beginning of the year they'd have a bigger role, but have settled in and just, you know, play as hard as they can.
He does.
They play as hard as they can.
I
so that's
love
all you
Terrence
can ask.
Hubby.
Yeah, play as hard as they can.
He comes in and contributes the absolute best way he can, and being a great team player.
Yeah, and I think Mitch is 3rd in the nation in assistant turnover ratio. I
Oh,
believe.
wow.
So it's just, and that's it, just police.
Yeah. He's such a poised player,
Yeah.
and poise is probably the money word
It's
for
a
him.
calming force for us because
It really
a
is.
freshman who's our
Yep.
starter, and
Yep.
you know, he's a freshman. He plays amazing defense, and he really sets the tone for everybody.
Yep.
But you know, there's moments where you need a calm head
Absolutely.
and know when to get the ball to who you need to get
Especially
it
if you're 17 down.
to. Yeah.
And you can lose your
Exactly
cool.
right, yeah.
You can lose your cool
No doubt.
quick.
Yeah, that was the best thing about it is you know, there was never any panic. I was pretty calm. The kids were pretty calm. And we were just like, hey, it is what it is. You didn't think they were going to show up. And so, you know, we're like, okay, well, let's start chipping away and see what we can do. And next thing you know, we got back in the game pretty quickly, actually.
What's happening in the game, Adam?
Time out here by Central Christian as they have kind of battled their way back here a little bit. A couple of missed three-pointers by the Lady Lions have kind of spelled out this little mini comeback here by the Lady Tigers. Have gone cold, the Lady Lions have, from the three-point land, which we've seen them, at least in the first quarter, they were shooting lights out. And the Lady Tigers have been able to take advantage of a couple of missed three-pointers.
Well, Coach Phillips has a slight cushion, and let's see.
17
My,
points.
yeah, my math is a little slow.
17-point lead here for Coach Phillips and the Lady Lions. We have a live look in here. Texas Wesleyan leading Langston. Some more Sooner Athletic Conference action tonight. 28-22. About same distance left here in the second quarter. Tightly contested game there.
So you're going to get, you guys are going to get Langston next on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And Langston, always a dangerous team.
Yeah. Actually, the crazy thing about the Sooner, Central Christian's very talented also.
Yep.
They've had some really tough losses. I think they are missing a couple guys today, but they've been, they've had a really tough little stretch, and they're very super. I've known Coach Romero forever. He's a great coach. So I don't know what to expect. They beat us here 2 years ago. We went to overtime here last year.
Yep.
It's just every game.
They play well in the Schaefer
very
Center.
well here. I think they have a lot of Dallas kids, and this is kind of a homecoming for them.
Yep.
And then Langston, Langston's really athletic. They get downhill and they attack you a lot, and you got to be poised to play in that game. And if you don't, then this could be a tough weekend. I'm glad we're home this weekend, but this is a moment where we got to show up, and coming off a loss, I think we'll be ready to play.
Well, that's very exciting to see that you are in the upper echelon of the conference. What I would say is arguably the toughest conference in the nation. And Sooner Athletic Conference has built that reputation throughout the years because they just show up and do well in the national tournament.
I saw your graphic that you guys put on the game a couple games ago. Where I think 11 national championships in the last
11 appearances and 8 wins.
Or something. That's great.
Yeah, 20 years.
And it's a lot of different teams too. It's not the same teams, and it's just that's kind of the pedigree of the conference. And I don't believe this year is any different. I think it's very deep this year. It's a grind as a coach, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
it's a grind.
I bet
Every
it is.
day you finish a game, you turn on the film. I was just telling Coach Romero, you turn on the film, and you're like, man,
I
got a lot of good players over here.
Yeah, I bet it is. And just over the last few years, you've seen just the level of play elevate from all the coaches, the new group of young coaches, and that including yourself, has really brought. And that's not to say it was bad, because the history shows that it's been great. But you guys are not turning over a leaf and taking a downturn. We're still making good arguments to put 5 of our teams in the national tournament every year.
And the crazy thing about that is we have 5 teams probably sitting close to in if it was today. And I think the next 2 or 3 teams are also tournament caliber teams.
That's crazy.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So you look, and it's perennial powers of Oklahoma City and USAO, who are so talented and could easily go on a run any day here. So it's just every weekend you got to treat every game in its individual self, and then every weekend you just try to play the best you can for the weekend and try not to get caught looking ahead, because it's not pretty if you do. So just try to stay true to yourself every game.
Well, I think it's actually kind of once you realize that that's the conference that you are in, and you came to us from York College, which is what conference?
The KCAC.
Oh, you were in the KCAC. Not a bad conference at all.
A lot of teams. It's big. It's very well run.
Yeah. And that conference is. I love that conference. It's well run.
Very well run. Scott Crawford is amazing as far as it's just very organized. They do a lot of good things with the league.
In every sport offering as well. Women's and men's, just lights out conference. So you come with a high pedigree, but then you get into it and you're like, oh, it's every night.
It's
every night.
Honestly, it's just, there's a slight difference between D2 and D1. Very good time. Next year, it's all going to go to one division, so it'll all be the same. But we just see a lot. There's a lot of height and athleticism in our league. That's just a little bit different than what it used to be in the KCAC. They have improved. The KCAC just keeps getting better as well. So and that's in basketball, the 2 divisions. So you got the Division 1, which Sooner Athletic Conference is, and then you come from the KCAC, which is Division 2. I want you to speak to maybe a little bit, if you can define the differences, which I know is not great. Yeah. But there are. Just for the viewers at home, if they want to know about the teams,
There are 145 teams in Division II. There are only 93 in Division I. So when they merge that next year, we're going to have, just do the math, but it's 200 and almost 40 teams. That's a lot of teams. So that's going to make that final. Are they raising the national
There's going to be a
tournament?
64-team tournament.
Okay, which is 32 now.
Yes, and there is going to be 14 sites to open it.
Wow.
And then a 16-team tournament
So
to finish
it's
it.
really going to look a lot like
A
NCAA.
lot different, yes, very different. So.
But it makes that national championship that much more elite.
For sure. And it's going to be really tough, and there's great teams in both. And I was fortunate enough to be in national tournaments in Division II as well. And we went against some of the best teams I've ever played against. So, I mean, you don't have a coach to
is
against
there
them,
a
so.
scholarship difference?
There
What
is.
are the differences?
Well, there's a NAIA limit. Every school is different, but the NAIA limit was 11 scholarships in Division I and 6 in Division II. So it is broken up differently, but they're merging it together and they're kind of meeting in the middle. And so some of the teams that, and I mean, not every school has these things.
They can do that, yeah.
And most of them aren't, but you're going to see some of the bigger schools have to cut back and some of the smaller schools going to have to raise up, which
How
will be
about
hard
that?
for both schools.
Yeah.
I mean, in both different kinds of challenges, but you'll see talent level will raise everywhere. And NAIA in the Midwest is very important. There's a lot less, there's a lot of city teams in Division I and around here, so you get a lot of kids who are from Division I areas, and that's all they know. Well, up there, the biggest difference I can say is you have kids that grow up, and that's the schools they know. There's so many NAIA schools around where I was in Nebraska, and they just grow up loving the school. Their parents went there, they're all about it, and they grow up wanting to go there to play. So it's a different feel, but it's just as fun and great, challenging.
So
they'll do well.
How do you predict this to affect you and Coach Phillips?
The hard thing is our conference doesn't switch. So I wish we could.
True.
I wish we could change our conference. I wish we could all merge all the conferences so we could play all our teams. But it'll definitely be tougher. I think we get. Or at least on the men's side, we have 5 potential qualifiers the last couple of years. I think that'll be harder to do. It'll be really interesting to see how there's going to be a committee that determines the field, so it'll be just interesting to see how they go about that.
Sure. Man, that's a very insightful information. Thanks, Coach. We're really trying to raise the awareness of the NAIA and how the NAIA works. It's a growing league, and there's so much great talent here. And in the NAIA, speaking specifically too, and I think there's a lot of the story that just gets lost in the mix because you have your big networks like ESPN, Fox, and all these large networks that only cover the top leagues, but really even in the top leagues, just the top echelon of the top leagues. So a lot of the great stories and athletes, the champion of character type athletes, just don't get the credit that they probably deserve. So we need to do a better job as media outlets to let the people know. And so part of that is educating them on where we are as a conference, as a team, but not only that, as the league on the whole.
Yeah, I always like when we're able to, people are able to see us play for the first time, or maybe catch some highlights, or see. I know Lexi had a couple big shots at the end of the year last year. That was just great on film. And see us
we put that in social media world, and it just blew up.
Awesome. So there's so many good things that happen, and it's I see some of our high school kids around here, coaches come to a game, and they're like, "Man, I didn't know." Nobody knows. So we try to promote it as best we can. You guys are doing a great job of it, and there's a couple other outlets I think that are doing a better job of just daily trying to say this is what's going on.
Yep.
And, if we can do that more, I think grow the brand, especially as it goes to one division for basketball.
Alexis Cash to the line here for 2 shots as she gets fouled by Peyton Littleton. Coach, quick question in terms of like the big conference that's going to be next year. How does the voting get determined for the rankings in a team that's coming from Division II to what would be Division I, like the KCAC compared to a student athletic conference team?
Right now, every conference has a rater, and the rater's responsibility is to rank pretty much their conference in order. And then there's a big conference call with all the raters, and everybody talks out what it is when they determine the top 25. So as of now in both divisions, I mean, when you're picking the tournament field, it almost just goes down the top 25 into the receiving votes, and those guys get in. Well, it's going to change a lot next year when you have a top 25, but you have 60 teams, 64 teams making it. Can't do that anymore. So now there's supposed to be a committee. It's still, I mean, it's a work in progress. We haven't started it yet, so they're supposed to take some strength of schedule into account. They're going to take in who you've played, obviously, the league you're in. And there's going to be some people just eye test. It's supposed to be an unbiased committee that'll sit in there and just really talk it out and be like, these are the teams that are deserving, you know. And then there's automatic bids from each conference as well. So you'll have all that.
How does this affect your out of schedule or out of conference schedule?
It doesn't. I mean, we're in the same boat. I mean, you have your conference games and you have to get out of conference.
Yep.
So we have 20 conference teams. So our 20 conference games. Yeah, we have 20 conference games, so we got to schedule an extra 10 and 2 exhibitions. So we're still doing that.
Do you think
I do think that you have to pay attention to who you're playing.
Yeah, strength of schedule is going to be scrutinized just a little bit more. So
it is, but in a conference like ours, you know, you want to get a couple good conference games. You want to play some teams that you know it's going to be competitive, and you want to try to have some opportunities. You know, you don't want to schedule it with all top 25 teams because we're going to play all top 25 teams in our league.
Right.
So you know, you want to have as many as you can where you feel like it'll be a good competition for you and challenge yourself, but also have you ready for league play.
Well, Coach, it seems like you guys are on a great path to some great success. I don't want to get too far ahead. I know as coaches, you try not to get superstitious, but sometimes you just say, hey, let us just take one game at a time. And I understand that, but just we're looking at the path, and the path seems to be very bright and well lit for success. And you've got a team. I would say I would qualify as this is the best team I've seen you be able to coach since you've been here, and this is your 4th season, correct? Third. I'm sorry.
Season, yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
So this has got to be a delight for you to come in, settle into such a tough conference this early in your career here, and I know that this year it just seems like with Nick Mason and Kenton Williams on the floor at the same time, and then you got Josh Kashuda. We hadn't even talked about him.
Yeah.
It's just he's been lights out and shooting the 3 ball so well. But his effort, but just his maturity on the court has just more than
it's grown a lot since I've had it.
Yeah, I mean he's playing like a true senior.
Yeah, and that that's. I mean, the best thing about the team is, regardless, we've been really talking about just having peace as a group. Me having peace as a coach, me and Coach having great peace, and just trying to be like, we're putting in the work. My guys work really hard. They love each other. They listen. They want to grow spiritually. They want to grow in a mix. I mean, it's a great group of guys. Really, and I can't explain it how much it's one of the best groups I've had, just as far as camaraderie. And when you do those things, and you buy into that, you buy into playing with boys, and the results will take care of itself. And we're just focusing on the process. Like you said, I mean, we have high expectations for where we want to go, but we also understand it's a great conference with other great teams and with high expectations as well. We're just going to stay true to who it is God wants us to be, and hopefully end up where we want to end up.
What an amazing story. We're so happy for you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Deal. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. As we approach the last 10 seconds here, Central Christian finds themselves down 19. They get a 3 ball on the way to close the half, and it's good. 2 seconds left. They're going to cut into the lead a little bit here. Down 16 going into halftime. And Central Christian's got to feel good. They hit a couple of threes there to end that half on the last couple of possessions. So they've got to feel good going into the locker room and coming out. And the Lady Lions holding on to that 16-point lead, 47-31, as Coach Phillips has her squad heading into the locker room. We're going to catch up with assistant coach Eric Wood, who is with our courtside reporter Riker Russell. Riker, how's Coach Wood feel about that first half?
Thanks, Adam. Coach Lexi Rich started off hot in the beginning, and she kind of cooled off a little bit in the second quarter. What are you going to do to help her get started early on in the third quarter?
Keep going to her, keep on making the extra pass to her. They're also going to start guarding her a lot closer and closing out on her a lot harder. So she needs to start driving a whole lot more to the basket, balancing her game out a lot more.
This has been one of the best first halves defensively for the team. So what is it going to take to keep that momentum going tonight?
Just stay solid, don't foul, continue to box out. We haven't given up much offensive rebounds. Yeah, just keep.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck tonight. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Riker. Thank you, Coach Wood. That's going to do it for the first half. Don't go anywhere. Half number 2 coming your way right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Program in any of our vocational ministry programs is somebody who has a passion for Christ, a passion for people, somebody who has an element of seriousness, but they'll be transparent and be people of integrity.
I'm looking for students that are going to invest their lives in the life of a student that says, I know how tough adolescence can be.
This degree is tailor-made for that unique life, trying to help individuals really learn all that goes into the unique realities of church leadership.
What we've done is make this degree a great combination. They're able to pick and choose various ministry classes and really get a wide range, a well-rounded view of church life. It's like build your own degree if you feel the desire or the calling.
We're equipping students that if in 10 years they say, well, God's moving me out of youth ministry, out of children's ministry, well, they can become some other type of associate. They can go into pastoral ministry.
We're increasing the internship component that goes alongside this degree. And so, this gives a good potential. A student can be plugged into a single church for 3 semesters. They could be plugged into 3 different churches.
If it's children and family classes, then, for example, there's one called Creative Methods, ballooning, juggling, clowning, all of those kinds of things that we're going to cover. We also have a course called Issues in Childhood and Family Life. How do we do care for people who've gone through abuse and neglect and divorce and all the tough things that come in life, especially in the lives of kids?
I discovered that along with other things that I had been doing.
And in pastoral leadership, they're going to get courses such as ministerial ethics. They're going to get courses like pastoral leadership itself, but then they'll also pick up things like hermeneutics and systematic theology to go along with preaching courses and pastoral counseling courses.
They're going to be learning, some of the practices of ministry, certainly, how to communicate, how to lead a service, how to, develop ministry, but they're also going to learn a lot about dealing with people, things like how to help a church turn around one that's been struggling, or how to plant a new ministry.
Whenever I talk to freshmen, I say, don't think that you're purchasing a 4-year degree. Said you're investing in a lifelong relationship. Ministry can be a very lonely place, and our role is that they know they always have a friend at Southwestern.
Ministry is not necessarily the easiest thing they'll get into, but it's something that they commit themselves to, not because of their it's a profession, but because it's a passion in their heart.
Jesus gave us a lot of indications of that, showing us that in his kingdom, leadership will operate differently than it does in the world around us. The sense of servant leadership, working with individuals who maybe at times are in deep distress, trauma, great need. So degrees in church leadership are there to help address that.
try to think of, how a kid will view me on the court, and what I want them to see, in my mind, is someone who has a ton of fun doing it, who does what's right and does his best every time he steps onto the floor.
Where online makes really good sense is when you're kind of not the typical, I just graduated from high school and I want to have a college experience.
I chose distance education because I was busy. I mean, I knew that our lives were kind of all over the place, everything that we were doing, and I wanted something that was flexible.
My degree at SAGU allowed me to still be a mom and an educator and get my degree online. I was able to tuck my kids into bed and get everything that I needed to get done, and while laundry was going, I was studying.
If you have any questions, certainly give me a call, shoot me an email, and I'll be glad to help any way I can.
We have an asynchronous program, so videos are going, students are accessing the course on their own schedule, which is a convenience of online education. So the online provides the way to get the academic credit that you need to advance your career path, advance your learning and your skills.
Well, a lot of what we were doing with our resident assistants was preparing them to teach their halls. And then, of course, I'd have the opportunity to teach as well. So I was training, but then I was also teaching the whole dorm. And so I found that a lot of the tools that I was getting from my classes was really helping me to prepare my RAs and to prepare myself to minister to our students.
My master's degree in education at SAGU allowed me to have a bigger influence on more than just students, but also educators. With the door that this degree opened, I was able to take this position that really didn't exist before I graduated, and I was able to move into that.
In SAGU's philosophy, we want to connect students with a faculty member that is curating the content, and they are providing the content we feel is important for that particular course the way that is presented in SAGU's distinctive.
I loved the way that they would give you quality feedback. It's not just a grade, but I want to know what you think about my work.
My professor was fabulous, just was always there for me that entire semester, and I was able to graduate exactly when I expected to.
The fact is, there is no back row in an online classroom. You can't get in the back of the class. You're either online and engaged or you're not doing the work.
The number one thing is their passion for students. The customer service here, they're going to help you get across that finish line and do everything they can do to help you get there. This is a place where if you've already in your career, you know what you want to do, and you just need that extra skill set, you need that help to prepare you to be more successful. This is a very practical place to get your degree.
Tired of being passed over for that promotion? Well, did you know that getting your MBA can be a great way to supercharge your professional career? Those who graduate from a 2-year MBA program on average earn a starting salary of $90,000. Through SAGU's online MBA, you can earn your degree while still working at your job. And at half the cost of other 2-year MBAs, there's no need to worry about the price. So what's holding you back? Apply today at sagu.edu.
Hands up, kick the door closed, take one step to your left. Take off.
The chase is on as one of the newest and fastest growing programs at SAGU continues to gain strength. In response to market surveys and high demand, a bachelor's degree in criminal justice was launched on campus in 2006.
When the admissions would go out and recruit, it had been the most asked for program that they didn't have.
Bruce Stamets joined the SAGU faculty in 2009 and has led the charge in growing the Criminal Justice, or CJ program, from 5 students to nearly 50. His path to the college campus is paved with a wealth of real-world experience, 26 years of service as a police officer in New York, and a 2-year stint overseas in Kabul, Afghanistan.
And I did 2008 and 2009 as an international police mentor in a division of the State Department called International Narcotics and Law Enforcement.
Housed within the Human Services Department, CJ students learn the functions and interrelationship of the American criminal justice structure. Its 3 key components: law enforcement, the court system, and the correctional process.
Of course, there's a myriad of positions, and hundreds of thousands of jobs become available every year in those 3 spheres. A lot of people use the criminal justice degree as a precursor to going to law school because the CJ degree is kind of a broad brush stroke in terms of how the system operates.
Analysis of police operations is one of the 16 core classes required in the criminal justice program. It's also one of the most hands-on courses offered at SAGU.
If you recall how we did the takedowns in the classroom, they actually have to think through scenarios and then act those out. And those, you saw a felony traffic stop where there was a risky situation for a police officer.
You may have more occupants in the car. You do the same thing over and over again.
They're getting those guys and gals out of those cars, arresting them in a prescribed manner.
And the prescribed manner in God's Word for justice in society is also explored. It's another prime example of how biblical truths at SAGU are integrated into practical learning and application.
If you read Romans 13, you'll find out that there's a minister of God there to promote justice. And I believe the modern day minister of God's justice is the police officer on the street. I think that God's young people are rising to the challenge that there needs to be godly men and women in law enforcement, in courts, in corrections, to maintain, keep, and establish order, in our society.
Now you're going to exit the vehicle by taking your right hand and opening the car door from the outside slowly.
And proper training now equals protecting society and saving lives in the future.
What do we say about runners?
That was awesome.
We let them run. You got perimeter probably backup, and your help is just a radio call away, right? What you did was you left your partner uncovered, potentially with multiple prisoners. Good idea or bad?
The criminal justice program at SAGU, embracing the chase and the challenge to equip the next generation of public servants.
Welcome back to the SAGU Sports Network as we are ready, just a mere seconds away from half number 2 between the Central Christian College Lady Tigers and the SAGU Lady Lions. There you see the first half stats that led to this 16-point lead for the Lady Lions, and one of the big ones is that turnovers number 14 in the first half for the Lady Tigers to just 5 for the Lady Lions. So you got to think that Coach Golden wants that cleaned up a little bit here in the second half.
you think?
A little bit, ideally.
And there you see your first half stats.
Now, one of the big storylines we got to follow here in the second half is Philly Green has 3 fouls, as well as Forsberg for the Lady Tigers. They both have 3 fouls, and we've seen them on each other pretty much the entire night. There's not been a whole lot of switching. It's been Forsberg on Green and Green on Forsberg. So,
well, I think the impact is much greater felt for the Tigers if they lose Forsberg compared to – it'll be a big loss for Coach Phillips if Green fouls out. But you got so much speed on the bench that there's just a different strategy you can take where Coach Golden doesn't have that many tools in his bag. So, he's going to have to play this with a very watchful eye and keep Forsberg in the game.
They get the ball to Forsberg to start, and the turnaround hook shot no good. And it looks like Alexis Kasher is going to start the second half, guarding Forsberg down low. Kick out to Baker. Baker for three. That one's no good. Rebound fought for, and a jump ball. That's going to go with the Lady Lions as they have possession here in the second half. Three-point shot just a little too long from Lauren Baker. Ball tipped, batted out to Forsberg. Forsberg with it, so a turnover there by the Lady Lions to start this third quarter. Here is Lowe. Three ball on the way. That one is good. And the Lady Tigers have hit 3 straight threes going back to the second quarter. And that has put them right back in this game, now down 14. Here's Duro. Duro, floater. That one's no good. Rebound brought in by the Lady Tigers. Thrown away. Here's Lexi Rich for three. That one is good. Lexi answers back with the three of her own, and Coach Phillips wants a quick timeout here in the third quarter. They're going to get a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, and that's good. Just make sure you refocus your players. That was fortunate that that was a bad pass. Lexi gets it and makes that. But you don't want to have any slip up here. This is third quarter. Third quarter is always, you do better than the first 2 quarters. And they have proven that through this year's history, that third quarter is better than the first 2. So she wants to make sure they maintain that level of intensity and keep that side of history going.
Out of the timeout, the Lady Lions find themselves up 16 off the three-point shot by Lexi Rich. That was her 20th point of the night for number 20, the senior. Shooting very, very well tonight. And as you said, she's on pace for a potentially historic night here at SAGU. Entry pass finds Forsberg. Forsberg goes up, misses the layup, gets her own shot, goes back up with it. It is fouled, and she's going to go to the line here for 2 shots. She is upset with herself that she missed that second opportunity.
And she should be. That's too easy, and she knows that. She did a great job just staying home, fighting for that extra rebound, and then creating a foul for herself to at least get the opportunity. But she misses the first free throw, and she's getting opportunities. She just got to convert them.
Misses the first. Second is on the way for Forsberg. And that one is no good off the back iron. Baker with the rebound. Up ahead, she's going to drive, kick it out. Glenn kicks it back out to Lexi Rich. Rich jabs, and she's going to pull up with it. That is good. Lexi Rich hits again.
Let me tell you something, Adam. Just from a shooter's perspective, that is hard to do. Like, to get stuck on the floor and you don't move your feet at all. It's a balance thing, and great shooters have great balance. So she is stuck with her left foot into the floor. It's hard to regain and get the actual balance back to make a good shot like that. That just shows you what a pure shooter Lexi Rich is.
Duro looking to bring it up, tries to get it to Rich. Rich looking like a receiver, brings it in on the sideline, and very wisely throws it off a Lady Tiger defender.
You won't be able to see this, but this was right under us, and she traveled. She shuffled her feet.
Here is Rich to inbound it now. And she gets it to Glenn. Glenn has her defender back off, and they get it across that half-court line now, but 10 seconds left to shoot. Here's Baker. Baker drives to her right. Floater up, no good. Kasher had the rebound and loses it, but it goes out of bounds off of Tanya Lowe, and the Lady Lions will keep possession.
And look at Kasher. This is why she leads the conference. She's always getting her hand on the loose ball. It just doesn't matter. Her effort will never stop, and it causes her to get rebounds, in mass amount.
Turnover by the Lady Lions. Here come the Lady Tigers on offense.
What a good move.
Mid-range pull-up there by Tanya Lowe, and she is able to hit.
Lowe with 5 now.
Lady Lions looking to break this full-court defense. Pass up ahead to Duro. Duro stops, gets blocked by Forsberg. Good job there by Forsberg to be aggressive with 3 fouls. and is able to get that block.
Well, and she was so much bigger than DeRoe there. I think DeRoe kind of miscalculated who was going to come out to get her.
They go down low to Forsberg. Turnaround shot, no good off the glass. Casher with the rebound,
That's going
and
to be
she
tough.
gets fouled.
Yep. And that's frustration right there because Forsberg is trying to get some of these easy paint points, and she misses it, and that's probably a shot she hits a lot. We saw her working in pregame on that very shot. She was making them a lot. So defensive pressure has been ratcheted up on her, making it tough to make those easy shots. And then she has to create a frustration foul for herself.
Kiera Glenn with a nice little hop step gets around the defender but could not finish. And that's going to be a backcourt violation against the Lady Tigers. So another turnover here in the third quarter. I'm going to say she did not have control of the ball before she was over that half-court line. Sierra Carter checks back into the game for the Lady Tigers, as well as Alexis Boyd taking a spot of Cassidy Forsberg, who does have that fourth foul, so we may not see her until that fourth quarter. Here's Baker. Gets it to DeRoe. DeRoe looking to go down low to Casher. Casher to her left. Tries to get it to corner to Baker, but it's stolen away by Carter. And Carter is then fouled by Kiera Glenn. Kiera Glenn's second foul of the game. 2 fouls for the Lady Lions here in this third quarter. And here is Lowe bringing it up. Leaves it for Carter. Carter. Look to go down low to Boyd. Boyd falls backwards, able to keep her spot, and then up and in. Trying to draw a charge was Casher. But a good job there by Alexis Boyd.
Yep, and that was a good no call by the ref to let that go. And also, some refs get a quick whistle whenever a player loses their footing on the ground, and that was the correct no call, but you would see that called travel. I've seen it many times, and it's not. She even though she didn't have a pivot foot left, she did not move, and that was a great effort by her to successfully get rid of the ball without traveling.
Lauren Baker hits the corner three, and then we get a whistle. It looks like Kiera Glenn may have gotten hit in the eye, maybe lost a contact. It's hard to tell. After the three ball, they were bringing the ball up, and Glenn, you can see her grab maybe her nose or her eye there after that made three-point shot. So she's going to check out of the game for now, and I can kind of see her blinking a little bit. It may be that eye.
Yeah, when she came across down off the elbow right there, the center, got a little bit of an elbow to the face.
So it could have been maybe, it does look like it is the nose. She's got a towel over the bridge of her nose. We'll check and see if she's okay here after that unfortunate elbow placement by the Lady Tigers. 56-38 here in the third quarter. 18-point lead for the Lady Lions. Driving is Low. Low stops. Mid-range jumper is good. 56-40 now. As the Lady Lions look to, again, break this full court defense. Here is DeRoe. Stops, gets it out to Rich. Lexi for three, gets blocked.
Yep.
Casher, what a pass by Casher, and Lexi cannot hit the layup. Alexis Casher, the no-look tip pass to Lexi Rich, and Rich is going to kick herself because she could not finish.
That was incredible, and just she never proves us wrong. She's the Energizer Bunny, man. She goes after everything, and everyone had given up on that, but not Casher. And that was a great move by Lexi Rich to just follow it up. A lot of times you'll see shooters, they shoot, it misses, and they're already back past half court.
Lady Lions after the foul on the Lady Tigers. Here's Rich. Rich gets a double team. And a timeout by Coach Phillips, as Lexi was trapped there on the sideline. Couldn't find any help.
Good stifling defense there.
or 16-point lead rather for the Lady Lions, up 56-40 here in the third quarter. And we see a score update. OPSU, the Aggies, putting it on the Bacone Lady Warriors, 69-45. Consider that a blowout here in the Student Athletic Conference. OPSU.
And OPSU hasn't gotten a win in the conference, although that's not a conference game. Used to be.
You can make
anymore.
that mistake.
Yep. And it's a much-needed win for OPSU.
Sometimes you just need that out-of-conference, that random out-of-conference game that happens during conference play. Maybe turn things around a little bit for those Lady Aggies. Here come the Lady Lions. Casher with it now from Duro. Gets it to Metter. Metter seeing her first action really here in the second half. Green gets it to Rich. Lexi. Floater. That rattles around and is good. Lexi Rich showing she can do it from anywhere on the court.
She's just feeling it tonight.
58-40, back out to that 18-point lead here for the Lady Lions. 4:15 left to play here in the third quarter. Good defense. Duro is able to get the ball away. Backcourt violation. Good defense there by Tamara Duro. Just harassing low. And you see that left foot of Rowe on that half-court line. So another turnover here for the Lady Tigers. But even better defense there by Tamara Duro. And here is Duro. She's going to pull up mid-range. No good. Strong. Casher going for the board, but it looks like there's going to be a foul on Casher.
That's her third. May see Coach Phillips make a move to the bench pretty soon for a substitution for Casher. A little bit, well, there's a lot of time left. I know you feel like you're blowing them out, and it's not as big of a risk.
Metter comes away with a steal. Can't tiptoe the sideline, but gets it to Rich. Rich tries that underhanded scoop pass to Green, but she's going to get fouled from behind. And there you see it. She sees Green to her right, tries to get it to her, but gets run into.
Yeah, that would have been a good no-call situation there for the ref.
Third foul on Holly Golden. And Golden is the leading scorer for this Lady Tigers team. Here's Metter, drives baseline up and gets it to go in over the bigger defender, Sydney Metter. It's kind of hung in the air and got it up there. Her 9th point of the game. Here's Duro. Duro with good defense. Boyd for three. That one's no good. Duro comes down with the rebound, gets it up to Green.
Yep.
And it's going to be a traveling violation.
Just barely shuffled her feet trying to get rid of that. And drug the left foot. That was a great rebound.
Casher, good defense. They're going to get a foul here. We'll see who they call it on.
And they're going to call it on Casher.
It is me, Casher.
That's going to be 4th foul, Alexis Casher. And I had just spoken. I think Coach Phillips is going to make a move just a little bit too late.
And checking in is Kiara Glenn. And Alexis Casher is so important to this team. She does a lot of things that does not show up on a stat sheet. Other than the rebounds, that's always going to show up on a stat sheet. But Casher just does such a good job defensively. She really is a secret weapon for this Coach Phillips Lady Lions team.
And one thing that you're going to see right now is Coach Phillips has just upped her game in speed by about 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3, that's it? Shooting low there with Kiara Glenn checking into the game.
Well, when you put Kiara Glenn and Duro on the court at the same time, your defensive intensity is just going to ramp up. But the run and gun style.
Ooh, Lexi Rich with a good move. The hesitation jump shot gets her defender to commit. and it goes under and hits the mid-range shot. Lexi Rich, 27 points.
Just having a lights-out night. She needed it.
You see good defense by DeRoe. Philly Green with the block there. Up ahead, here's Glenn. Glenn, layup up and in, and the Lady Lions are rolling.
And that's what I was talking about. Now you're going to see a lot more extended fast and extended plays via the defense. A little more run and gun approach to it.
64-42. Philly Green, another block. They're going to call a jump ball. Philly Green just didn't even leave her feet on that block.
And Coach Mark Golden is beside himself wanting the foul.
That's all ball, Coach Golden.
And the closest referee, he was letting her know that that wasn't the right call, and she had a little too much of his opinion about the call.
That's going to be
so she teed him up.
Technical foul, and Lexi Rich is going to go to the line here.
And Lexi shooting 92% on the year from the free throw line.
As automatic as you can be from the free throw line is Lexi Rich, and she hits the first technical free throw. Second on the way, looking for her 29th point here in the third quarter. And she hits. 29 for the SAGU senior, having an absolutely brilliant game, and the Lady Lions will get the ball back as well.
She's made it look so easy tonight.
Rich inbounds to Glenn. Glenn going to her left. Stops, gets it to Green. Green finds Rich. Couple of jab steps. Here's Lexi. Loses it for a second. Gets double teamed, gets it to Metter. Metter drives, loses it. Brought in by the Lady Tigers. Alexis Boyd found the loose ball. Ooh, good move by Lowe. Layup, no good. Out of bounds off the hands of the Lady Lions, so it's going to stay here with Central Christian. Good looking chance today. Nice little scoop layup there for Lowe. They get it to Boyd down low, and Boyd misses the layup. Philly Green with the rebound.
Nothing going the Tigers' way at the moment. Even the easiest of shots just not falling.
DeRoe gets it to Metter. Metter driving. Gets hip checked, but is still able to go up and in and convert the floater. A little bit of contact there. I thought maybe we'd hear a whistle come in, but Metter, good job to finish through that contact. 68-42 now in favor of the Lady Lions, and they've blown this game wide open. Low for three, that's no good. Metter with the rebound. Loses it for a second, and then a jump ball is called. That's a good job by Holly Golden to get in there. She's got those 3 fouls, but she's able to get down low and fight with Metter and allows her team to regain possession. Under a minute left to play here in the third quarter. SAGU with a big 24-point lead, 68-42. 26-point lead, rather. Some discussion here between the official and the scorers table.
Looks like they're discussing the possession arrow. And they want 20 seconds on the clock instead of a reset 24 clock. So what she's saying is that the jump ball didn't reset the clock.
Here come the Lady Tigers.
Good defense.
Golden loses it. Lexi Rich comes up with it. Rich up ahead looking for Philly Green. Layup, no good. A traveling violation is going to be called. She took a little extra step there on the fast break.
Blown assist.
Got a little choppy.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get, especially her long legs, she covers a lot of territory. And she's like, wait a minute, I'm going too far.
3-ball on the way, no good off the hands of Zenith Hernandez. And she usually hits those. At that time, no good, way off. The air ball by Hernandez. And then a bad pass. This one's stolen by Hernandez. Hernandez up ahead. A collision. It's going to be a block against Kiara Glenn.
We'll see on the replay, I think. But in real time, it looks like Kiara moves. Yep.
She slides over there at the last second. Yep, good call.
And that was good recognition by the ref.
Hernandez now goes to the line for 2 shots. Under 30 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Again, the Lady Lions with a 26-point lead, 68-42. Hernandez, first free throw on the way, no good. The lefty cannot get it to fall. Second free throw on the way. That one is no good. Rebound fought for. Out of bounds off the hands of Holly Golden. And here is Kiara Glenn. Shot clock is turned off here in the third quarter. Lexi Rich up ahead. 3-ball on the way. That one's no good. That one off the hands of Jane Carr. Checking in for the first time tonight. 3-ball on the way. That one is good by Duro.
No, that's Kiara Glenn.
Okay, excuse me, Kiara Glenn. I should have seen by the shoes. Kiara Glenn hits the 3. At the buzzer, no good off the hands of Carter, but the Lady Lions with a huge lead, 71-42, 29-point lead going here into the fourth quarter, the last quarter of play. John, what does Coach Phillips tell her squad as they huddle up here for the quarter break?
Just maintain focus. Don't lose your focus. Don't lose your energy. Play. I'm going to draw up a game plan, and she will. She'll draw up a game plan for this fourth quarter. They're not going to take a dive. They're not going to get outside of what they do. They may slow the pace a little bit. You may see a little deeper side of the bench come into the game and get more clock. But if the bench players aren't producing inside the system that she wants them to play, you're not going to waste this lead. You want to keep and maintain this lead at least. And I don't think you're actually trying to floor it and mash the gas and rub it in, but you by no means want to give up any more of this lead, and you want to see that your team can execute a well drawn out game plan that because you don't want to play to your opponent's level. If your opponent is having a bad game, you still want to play a great game. Part of playing a great game is not necessarily scoring all the time. It's running an effective offense. And I think that's what you're going to see.
Well, Coach Phillips looks like she's going to stick with the starters plus Jane Carr to start this fourth quarter. Let's see if Lexi Rich can get that 30-point benchmark. We know she's very capable of hitting. Here's Glenn. Glenn, spin move, no good. Gets it to Carr out to Metter. Metter short on the 3-point attempt. Carr with another rebound, gets it out to Rich. Lexi, floater, that one is good. A whistle, though.
Away from the ball, foul.
Yep. And it's going to go against the Lady Lions.
Yeah, they're going to say that happened before the shot, but should have been another 2 for Lexi. Look at this. Great floater. She's got such great touch.
71-42, the Lady Lions after the offensive foul. The Lady Tigers take over and they kick it out. Here's Hernandez. Hernandez for 3. She is finally able to hit. And Lexi Rich inbounds it to Glenn.
It's a little more pressure from the Tigers in this, not panic defense, but
there's the floater by Rich. She gets her 30th point, 31 to be exact. 73-45 now for the Lady Lions. Hernandez for 3 again. This one no good, off the side of the iron. Hernandez gets her own rebounds, and she gets trapped, and it's going to go out of bounds. Just tried to find someone, and she was caught up in the trees down low of Carr and Philly Green. Lady Lions take over. Metter up ahead to Glenn. Glenn stops. She's going to take a mid-range jump shot. That one's no good. Carr chases it down, tips to Metter. Here's Lexi. Rich with it, gets it to Philly Green. Green to her left. Layup up and no good. Rebound by Forsberg.
It's a really great move to go through the lane like that and get that left side open as much as she did. You could just tell it was the weak hand and didn't have enough English on it.
Going to call a foul. Looks like on Jane Carr. Picks up her first. Inbounds, try to get to Forsberg, tipped away by Green. Kept alive by the Lady Tigers and Hannah Kane. Hernandez gets fouled going up for a layup. She's going to go to the line here for 2 shots. Good move to just get around Philly Green, gets fouled. Tries to get that shot to fall. It's pretty close. But either way, Hernandez to the line for 2. First one is up, and it is no good. A little strong. Hernandez, second free throw on the way. Up and no good to the right. Lexi Rich chases the rebound down. And she goes up ahead. Finds Carr. Carr gets it back to Rich. And they're going to call travel on Jane Carr.
I saw it too, but the whistle didn't come right when it happened. So that was a little bit of a delayed whistle. But you can see Jane Carr lift up that left pivot foot and thought for a second she got away with it.
3 ball on the way. That one no good. Rebound chased down by the shooter, Holly Golden. Gets it back out to Lowe. Lowe's three-point shot, no good. Rebound again, this time by Golden. She goes up and in and is able to hit. Here's Glenn. Glenn up ahead. Sends her defender into her own teammate. Here's Lexi Rich. Rich is going to step into a 3. That's no good. Forsberg with the rebounds. Up ahead, here's Tanya Lowe. Lowe kicks it out to Kane. Kane for 2. No good. Green gets it to Metter. Metter up ahead. Layup up and in. Sydney Metter with a fast break layup off the miss.
Metter has gotten
Kane.
so much better at being able to judge what the defense is going to do. And she doesn't plow through anymore. And she let the defense make that first maneuver, that move, and then she adjusted after that.
Here's Lexi Rich for 3. That is good. Off the assist by Metter, who looked like she might have given up a layup to assist her teammate, Lexi Rich, with 34 points on the night, 78-47. 31-point lead for the Lady Lions. We're going to see Holly Golden go to the line here for 2 as she drives on Philly Green. That's her 4th foul.
This is interesting because it looks like all ball, but I guess they're going to get her with a little too much body.
Jane Carr is going to check out of the game as DeRoe checks back in. Golden hits the first free throw. Second free throw on the way is too strong. Philly Green with a good rebound over Forsberg. Long pass ahead to Glenn. Glenn goes through contact and the foul. Kiara Glenn hauling in the pass, the long pass from Philly Green and going, or from DeRoe rather, to go up strong through the contact, finish the layup, and have the opportunity at a 3-point play.
And that's what you expect from your veteran players. She does that so well.
And she converts the 3-point play opportunity, and SAGU up 81-48. We'll go down low. Kane Gets it back out to Carter. Carter trying to break down her defender. To get it down low. Forsberg guarded by Green, and Green, good defense. And then a foul on Lexi Rich. It's going to go against Lexi on Holly Golden.
And I believe Forsberg has probably 13 or 14 rebounds in this game already.
Golden's first free throw is good. She's got her team high 18 points. Does Holly Golden. Second free throw is also good. Making it 81-50, 31-point lead now, and a timeout by Coach Mark Golden as he takes a full timeout and wants to discuss some things here.
Well, we talked a little earlier about, and maybe even in pregame, about the big man matchup between Green and Forsberg. And it's telling they have really been going at each other defensively. That both are in foul trouble, and they both only have 2 points, and they both are double digits in rebounds. Very similar style game, but neither one of them have allowed each other to be a force on offense. And this has been, offensively a great game for Lexi Rich, and which is normal. And the Tigers have found no answer defensively of how to actually stop. And really, if you look, Lexi has 34 points, and you're down by 31. So basically, Lexi has been the reason, the answer for your woes in this game. And you just got to find someone to be able to step up and play defensively against the number one player.
6:20 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Rich gets it to Metter. She loses it, but thankfully Kiara Glenn was there. They get it to Metter. Metter kicks it out to Duro. Duro to Rich. Rich gets cut off. Goes to the corner for Metter. Metter goes around her man. Floater up, no good. Duro with the long rebound. She goes up off the glass and in. Tamara Duro converts the second chance opportunity. $83-50, big lead for the Lady Lions, 33-point game. Long two, no good. Lexi Rich with the rebound. Tries to dribble around, but she's going to get fouled down on the baseline. Just the second foul of the quarter for the Lady Tigers.
That is Golden's fourth foul.
Here is Duro. Five and a half left to play here in the fourth quarter. Duro over to Rich. Rich looked like she was face guarded there. Looked like a defensive back guarding a receiver who got burnt deep. Look, she's able to come down with it and gets fouled.
That's the fourth foul on Cheyenne Marshall.
Here is Metter. Metter gets it out to Duro. Duro with a long two. That is good. Tamara Duro starting to heat up a little bit here in the fourth quarter. That gives her 16 on the game.
Tamara the Show Duro.
Golden kicks it out to Hernandez. Hernandez for three. That is good. Zenith Hernandez hits a three. 85-53 now. I say no shot, but a foul.
Great defense by Hernandez to read that, and it's good to see players when you're down. A lot of times you can just show that in your body language and your play, and you just play down, and it just gets worse and worse. But Hernandez is playing like it's a tie ball game, and she wants to win. So her effort, and you got to like that if you coach Gold.
Hernandez's first free throw is no good. Second free throw coming here for the senior from Los Angeles, California. Second one is up, and it is good. Couple of new players checking in for the Lady Lions. Alyssa Holder checks in for the first time this game. Layup from Kiara Glenn up and in. Checking back in is Lauren Baker, and then Jane Carr gets some more action here in the fourth quarter. Forsberg up and in, and the foul. Cassidy Forsberg is going to go to the line here for a potential three-point play. Forsberg's free throw is good. Cassidy Forsberg, quiet night, 5 points for Forsberg, but she has been in foul trouble most of the night, so it's been tough for her to stay on the floor.
But she's got a bunch of rebounds.
She's got a good amount of rebounds, that's for sure. Here's Glenn. Glenn kicks it to Baker. Baker corner three, that's no good. Holder can't come down with the rebound. It is Golden. Up ahead to Lowe. Lowe. Down low to Golden, and Golden gets it up and in. 21 for Holly Golden, the senior from Fort Myers, Kansas.
Oh,
stop and pop by DeRoe. Beautiful shot.
That was awesome. And with a closing Forsberg on her, much bigger, she had to really concentrate and get that in.
3-second violation there. Down low.
That's an interesting call.
They're going to say Forsberg was planted down low.
Wow.
Here is DeRoe. Under 4 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter.
30-point lead, and we get a 3-second call.
Kiara Glenn stumbles for a second, gets it to DeRoe. Carr takes the pass, but another 3-second violation. This one goes against Alyssa Holder. So back-to-back 3-second violations called here and late in a 30-point game. So we have a delay here by the officials. Checking back into the game is Jordan Dixon. Looking to go down low to Forsberg. Gets tipped away, finds Golden, and Golden goes up with it and gets fouled. She's going to go to the line here for 2. First shot from Golden is up, and it is in. Golden just keeps padding this stat line from the free throw line here late. Second free throw, no good. Baker with the big rebound over Forsberg. You don't see that often. Baker up ahead looking for Holder, and it's no good. Cannot complete the pass. And Holder looked like she had a look at a wide open layup, but Baker just a little bit too strong on the pass.
Holder extremely quick and fast to get down, just not quite the height to get to that.
3:10 left to play in the fourth quarter. 3-point shot on the way. That is strong. Forsberg fighting for it. She comes down with the rebound. Another rebound for Forsberg. And a traveling violation called against Carter. DeRoe takes the inbounds pass. 89-60, under 3 left to play. There's DeRoe. She drives, floater off the glass, no good. Rebound brought in by the Lady Tigers. Up ahead, good job to keep the dribble by Golden. Dixon down low to Forsberg. Forsberg tries to go off glass, but she's going to get fouled by Carr. And Forsberg is going to go to the line here for 2 shots. Forsberg looking for her 6th and 7th point of the evening, and she finds her 6th. Second free throw on the way from Forsberg is up, and it is good after it rattles around a little bit.
Forsberg just a couple points shy of her average, but I mentioned it earlier on that it wouldn't be odd to see her get a double-double this game, and I think that's well within reach.
Here is Glenn. Glenn driving, looking to the corner. Finds her teammate, and then a mid-range jump shot by Duro. No good. Duro gets the rebound. That one is good. 2 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. Up ahead, here's Carter. Duro having a great night. It almost feels like it's a quiet night for her because of Lexi Rich's performance, but she's got 20 points. There's a 2-point shot there by Carter.
Well, Duro and Kiara Glenn have had fantastic nights, well above their averages.
Good pass to Glenn. Glenn drives baseline, keeps her dribble, kicks it out. Here's Holder. Duro for a straightaway three. That's no good. Rebound by Forsberg. Up ahead, 1:20 left to play. Here's Golden. Loses her dribble, finds Forsberg. Forsberg with an easy lay-in. That gives her 9 points on the evening. And then a foul by Carter, and Duro is going to go to the line. No, she's not in the bonus yet. That is the fourth foul of the quarter against the Lady Tigers. Here is Duro. About a minute left to play. Guarded by Carter. They get it to Carr. Might have got away with a little bit of a travel, but she misses the layup up ahead. Dixon, layup up and in. Here is Duro. Leaves it for Glenn. Glenn guarded by Dixon. Glenn drives on Forsberg.
Oh,
mid-range shot, no good.
Even with a little body contact there.
Dixon layup up and in, 91-70. Now the score between the Lady Lions and the Lady Tigers. Shot clock is turned off, and it looks like the Lady Lions may attempt to dribble this one out as Duro dribbles around a defender. 10 seconds left here, and the Lady Lions pick up a big win in conference play.
Huge.
91-70, 21-point win, and that's got to feel like a good one.
It's going to show up as a good one because it gives them sole possession of 8th place, and now they have one more on this coming Saturday to finish out the first leg of the season in conference play in Langston, and if they could get a win, which they should against Langston, then they will go into the second half of this season not quite as bleak as they came into the game tonight, and that's going to be a real momentum boost for Coach Phillips and her squad. And this team can do some damage. And I fully expect them to be in the middle of the pack. And there you see the updated. And they play Langston, so that's going to be another good one. And they're just going to gradually just kind of tick their way up. And I would say they have got a good shot to be in the top of the bottom of the bracket going into the tournament.
With a fantastic performance turned in by senior Lexi Rich, she is standing by with our courtside reporter Russell Riker. How does Lexi feel about that fantastic game?
Thanks, Adam. Lexi Rich, you got the tip-off, and then you drained a three at the beginning of the game. How did that set the tone for a 34-point performance?
I mean, it's been tough. I've been kind of in a slump, so I just knew a rhythm shot, get a flow going. It went in early, and then after that, it was just, okay, it went in. The weight was off my shoulders, and just played the ball.
Before the game, you mentioned Before the game, you mentioned that you needed to have more fun on the court. Tell us how that mentality impacted tonight's game.
I mean, I think it starts in the locker room. A lot of times you dance around, goof off, kind of have fun. It's really big on enjoying the game, loving the players that you play with. I don't know, it was nice to win, so it feels good to be on the winning side again.
Thank you so much. Great game tonight. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Riker. Thank you, Lexi. Fantastic game by Lexi. Don't go anywhere. The men's basketball team will be in action here as the second leg of our doubleheader gets underway right here on the SAGU Sports Network.